Welcome to the second act of our winter concert here on this Friday, December 16th. We close out the McAfee Performing Arts Center season for 2016. What an honor to get to be in this beautiful facility one more time under the superb management of Adrian Stapleton and all of his staff that he has running through here, doing all the many, many, many events that the Saratoga community gets to celebrate on almost a daily basis as they rehearse and perform, whether it's drama, band, orchestra, choir, all the wonderful events that take place in this performance center that we get to be part of here as a Saratoga community. And how exciting that our Presto Orchestra gets to be on the same stage as John Nakamatsu and all these incredible artists that have come through the area, and to get to share what they've been working on with you on this very evening. This is Presto. And Presto is comprised of a wide variety of youngsters that have auditioned in, either jumping from beginning into Presto, because maybe they started beginning as a 5th grader, and then as a 6th grader they were really pushing themselves, they could be with their peers. They might be kids that started when they were, 2, 3, 4 years old, and they're here in the community, and then by the time they get to 4th grade, we allow them to audition and join us in this level at this point. So we have a wide variety of young individuals collaborating twice a week from 6 to 7 p.m. And I'm so impressed because the average age is 10 and a half-ish. That's young, and from 6 to 7 p.m. they are focused, they are diligent, and they are willing to learn. After school, after activities, after homework, they come diligently and rehearse with us. So before they even play a note, let's just applaud all of their efforts. I don't know if you can see it, but we have one youngster here who can almost reach the floor, and he just wanted to confirm that he was 9, so well done. Okay, he doesn't want me to confirm he's 9, so don't clap. Okay, so creating memories. The first selection we're going to play is Improvata, and it's a tremendously fun piece. It's beautiful, slow opening, and what's a big difference between Allegro and Presto is we have tempo changes, the technical difficulty of the musical notation increases, more separation in parts, and more independence of musical movement. So we go from beginning, where they play a single line, cross buns, twinkle twinkle, to Allegro, some divided parts, to Presto, where we sometimes have 5 independent parts of one another, in addition to tempo changes and dynamics, and then we try and work in some different colors, characters, and gestures. So, without further ado, this is Presto performing Improvata. selections for you, and we also have 3 seatings. We try and rearrange the children in a couple of reasons. In music of this level, first violins tend to play notes on the A and the E string, and second violins tend to play notes on the G and the D string. So if they're always in the second violin, they only learn those lower strings. If they're only in the first violin section, they only learn those upper strings. So we make sure that we switch the sections continuously throughout the year so they get exposed to notation on all parts of the instrument. Second reason is the first violin part, although sometimes they have more notes, it's the easiest thing to hear because it's the melodic motion, and you can sing the tune and you can feel the tune, and then you can sort of allow your mind to use your ears as opposed to counting and sort of making the mathematical algorithms necessary to play with everybody. So playing second violin is much more intricate and challenging because it's not the melody. They have to fit in all these interesting rhythms and interesting harmonies. So we try and change the first and second violin section for that. Then with everyone else, Thomas excluded because he is, well, he's changed every seating position as well. But everyone else is just to give them a different experience and a different perspective. It's just the concept of piaget, where you're in the front, it feels one way. When you're in the back, it feels another way. When you're in the middle, it feels differently. When you're on the outside or the inside. We want to make sure that we're developing their whole mind, and they don't get a mindset that puts them in one place or the other, whether it's the front or the back, because every person on stage is vitally important. If one of them doesn't play F sharp when they're supposed to, we don't sound as good. So it doesn't really matter where they sit as much as that everyone's doing all they can while they can. We're really proud of what they already have performed for you. And here comes Crossing Pirates Cove. It's a little darker, a little murkier. It's in a different time signature. There's lots of sort of exposed, quiet sections, all very challenging for young musicians. Crossing Pirates Cove. And then our last piece uses the word modern, but it's modern Christmas classics, and these are all from the 40s, so modern compared to things written in the 1700s, but certainly not necessarily what we're all singing anymore, although I'm pretty sure Taylor Swift has done a version of each of these. There's I'll Be Home for Christmas, Here Comes Santa Claus. You'll recognize the tunes. It starts with the bells in a cathedral ringing, and you'll hear it in a tremolo, so we have extended techniques. Again, lots of independence of parts, and then some different jazz styles where actually what you're reading on the page isn't what you play, because you interpret the eighth note as a swung eighth note, so there's a new sort of idiom that we learned, a new genre that we applied to our instruments. So here's our final selection, Modern Christmas Classics.
Давай надень.
Надень. Что, она не хочет надеть?